So, hey, it's Stephen. So, I'm going to be doing a series of readings on the Psalms. And I have a Orthodox Psalter, which is the Psalms book of the Bible, is, in the case of this Psalter, is a translation from the Greek into Greek. And it's called the Septuagint. If you've heard of Septuagint, that's a translation of the Bible that happened, I think, in Alexandria, I don't know, back in the 200s or something, or maybe earlier. And the idea of the Septuagint of 70, Septuagint means 70 in Greek, is that you have all these translations. This is a typical problem of the Bible, or of any old manuscript, right? You have multiple translations, and the translations vary in quality, and they vary in quality within the manuscript. And how do you ever recover, the real thing? How do you ever recover what was originally said, if there was even such a thing? So anyway, what was decided in this case was that you would put 70 clerics and in 70 rooms separated from each other, and they would each write out the Bible and the Old Testament. And actually, no, this happened in like 200 BC. This is old. So you're writing out the Old Testament, and 70 clerics in 70 rooms, each writing what they recall, and miraculously the 70 all corresponded with each other when they were done, and they declared the work of the Holy Spirit, and therefore the Holy Spirit has sanctified the translations of the 70 that ended up being a single translation that's called the Septuagint, and is divinely inspired. And so from then on, at least until maybe 600 or 700 in the Middle Ages, the Septuagint was believed to be the preferred translation because of that intervention of the Holy Spirit. So I'm going to be doing a series of readings from the Psalms, and in this case, I'm not just going to be using the Psalter of the 70, the translation of the 70. Of course, this is then retranslated probably into Latin and then into English. So there's more going on there. But I'll be reading from this, the Orthodox. I'm Orthodox. But I'm also very interested in the Eastern Orthodox Church, and Eastern Orthodox Church uses a version of the Old Testament they call the Peshitta, and the Peshitta is in Syriac, and Syriac is a dialect of Aramaic that was the dialect when Jesus was around, or maybe the dialect of the region where where these books of the Old Testament were compiled back long before Jesus, hundreds of years, as I was saying, 200 BC, not 200 AD. And so it's a very different, you can imagine, it's a very different feel to the translation of the Psalms. And that's a translation from the Syrian into the English. So I don't have that book yet. It's coming, but when it gets here, then I'll be doing sort of comparative readings of the Psalms from the Greek Septuagint, the Western world's authority for a long time was the Septuagint, and I probably to some degree it still is. I'm sure to some degree in the Orthodox Church it still is. Obviously, that's what I'm using. But then I will also be doing the Eastern Church. The Eastern Church was split in the 500s, so long before the Catholic Orthodox split of the thousands was the Eastern Orthodox Western Orthodox split in the 500s. And the Eastern Orthodox would look towards the Peshitta as the Syriac version, having their cultural proclivities and memories, and so I'll be doing this. It's I like it. I like how the coincidence too, I have to mention, is that my friend Grim Grizz is going to be doing a series of readings from C.S. Lewis's The Hideous Strength. And so at the same time, I'll be doing readings over here of Psalms from the Greek translation and from the Syriac translation, and so I think that that's a nice you can entertain yourselves with the readings of the hideous and then the readings of ultimate beauty over here. So it's just a joke, but I like it. So anyway, so that's what's going to be happening, and follow along if you're interested. Thanks.